And welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. We are going to be previewing the game between Celta Vigo and Barcelona with 6 games left in La Liga to go. Can we here get past a very, very tricky visit to Balaidos and come out with 3 points in this game with Ernesto Valverde set to finally make some rotations? As always, guys, the video is coming to you today courtesy of the OneFootball app, which you can always find in the description down below. 89% of people on the OneFootball app believe that Barcelona will go to Celta tomorrow night and win the game. On my own poll, a lot more confident than you guys were against Valencia on Saturday. Barca obviously coming through that game, but the majority right now believing that we'll go tomorrow and win by 2+ goals in a very tricky visit to Celta Vigo. 8% for draw right now, and only 6% of you see us losing tomorrow's game. Here is the league table, guys. Barca, of course, still 11 points clear at the top of the league after our 2-1 win over Valencia on Saturday. Atletico, though, kept the pressure on. They won 3-0 at home against Levante. Celta Vigo, meanwhile, though, endured a very difficult weekend. They lost 1-0 against Leganes. Very disappointing defeat for them. They currently find themselves in 9th position in the league. They are still chasing European football under former Barcelona assistant coach Juan Carlos Unzué, but they do find themselves quite a few points now off that European run-in. And in terms of the title race and where it's at, Atletico will travel to the Anoeta to face Real Sociedad this Thursday, and that game could be particularly decisive in the league title. Should that result go our way and our own game go our way, we could be sealing and wrapping up this La Liga title very, very soon indeed. Kickoff will be coming to us live from Galicia from 9 o'clock local time in the night, so one of the late sort of midweek kickoff times here, as always, guys, are the times right around the world, and we'll certainly be hoping to follow up on that game against Valencia on the weekend. We came out, obviously, very difficult circumstances. The players weren't outstanding, but we got the job done against a very good side, and we'll basically want to prepare ourselves in this game for Saturday's cup final against Sevilla. Hopefully we can follow it up with a positive showing against Celta, which really won't be very easy at all. Because let's face it, we all know about what Celta Vigo away from home will have in store for us. It's a very tough visit to go to. You know, it's a tough stadium, a difficult atmosphere, and they've always played good football right throughout any of their coaches. Whoever comes in, they seem to have them playing always the right way, and especially against us, they always seem to be very effective, lightning quick on the counter-attack, very efficient in front of goal, and we are going to have to play at a very good standard here to get the points from Celta Vigo away from home, because we've had some really tough visits going back over the years now. We visited Balaidos back in January, of course, in the Copa del Rey, and it was actually Jose Arnaiza's goal that day that gave us a 1-1 draw away from home before we absolutely obliterated Celta Vigo in the return leg in that particular time. I was actually at the Camp Nou for that return leg, which finished 5-0, and I have to say, that is by far and away one of our best performances of the season. That is what you call football, what we saw in that game in that first half, and that's basically what we've been asking to see all season long. That kind of tempo, that kind of intensity, and that brilliant football that we saw on show there that we haven't really seen in as many games maybe this season as we would have liked. But in terms of our previous trips to Celta, they really haven't been good. Like I say, we lost 4-3 back in October of 2016. We went 3-0 down in that game just at the half-time stage. We did very nearly stage a second half comeback, but it didn't quite happen. Back in 2015 as well, that was even worse on that day. Ayaguaspas scoring twice in a 4-1 win for Celta Vigo, which really was an outstanding victory for them. And even earlier on in the season, in the reverse fixture of this one, it was 2-2 at the Camp Nou. So Celta this season in the league so far with a draw against us, and they'll be looking to follow that up at home in a game they really do want to win to try and get among those European places. And it's not really just about our away record against Celta Vigo, you know, just in terms of playing them. It's our general away record in recent times that really is a bit of a concern, to be perfectly honest. We all know what happened away from home last Tuesday in Rome. We don't really need to go over that any more than we already have. But it's not really been that game alone that has been our poor form away from home. We're actually without a win in 4 of our last 5 matches that have come away from home. We dropped points in La Liga to Sevilla, of course, in that 2-2 draw. A poor performance away at Las Palmas. We've drawn away at Chelsea in that time as well. So it really isn't going to be an easy game. It's a tough place to go, a tough stadium, and we haven't been great away from home in recent times. However, guys, some good news for you. In today's press conference, Valverde addressed the media and he did confirm that we will definitely be seeing some form of rotation tomorrow. He said there would be some changes. We will be making some changes ahead of that big game in the Copa del Rey final on Saturday against Sevilla. And whilst obviously I'm very happy by this, I've been saying for week upon week upon week, let's refresh the squad, let's give the key players some vital rest. I'm happy right now simply for the sake of the players who must be absolutely shattered at this point, really tired. Suarez, Messi, those that have been overworked right throughout the season. And I think we can all accept though, this chance to rotate and this decision to make these rotations has come far too late. It's no good doing it now in some ways. We should have rotated against Leganes at home, not against Celta Vigo away, and maybe then we'd still be in the Champions League. But life goes on. Now it is time to assess exactly what lineup we could be seeing tomorrow night, refreshing the team, doing what we've really needed to do, and of course, with our thoughts also on that cup final coming up on Saturday. So looking at the official Barcelona squad then, it is very clear to notice, first of all, there's no Gerard Piqué. He has finally got a rest in this game. Also missing from there is Iniesta. He's going to get a rest as well. Rakitic and Busquets are both out with injuries, but both of those players are expected to return by the Copa del Rey final. And this is the squad. Ter Stegen, Semedo, Denis, Suarez, Messi, Dembele, Silas and Coutinho, Paulinho, Alcácer, Alba, Digne, Sergio Roberto, Andre Gomez, Alex Vidal, Umtiti, Yerry Mina is there, and also Thomas Vermaelen. Now this would be my preferred starting 11 for this game with all those rotations taken into account. Now before a lot of you guys, I know you're going to come and say, look, we're away at Celta Vigo, it's a very tough game, surely you're not going to line up like this. Well, like I said in previous videos, I personally wouldn't have picked this game to rotate my team. I would have done it against Leganes at home, in a home game. This is a very difficult game, to be perfectly honest, and now to be honest, all we've got left is the Copa del Rey final. But obviously Valverde wants his players to be in good condition going into that. What I would say though is, it's a bit of a coincidence. Now we've got that unbeaten record, it is in our name, and now suddenly Valverde wants to rotate. I would go with Celta in goal simply because he's going to be playing on Saturday. That is all but confirmed. He needs some game time ahead of that game just to get himself in the right frame of mind for the cup final. I would bring in Lucas Digne simply because Alba has hardly rested over the last few weeks, simply because Digne has been out injured. He's back now. I would play him in this game. Vermaelen and Umtiti at the back. I would certainly look to maybe bring on Yerry Mina at some stage just to get a few minutes under his belt, but Thomas Vermaelen definitely deserves to play, and in Piqué's absence it looks extremely likely that he will do exactly that. Also then, Samuel Umtiti alongside him, Nelson Semedo at right back, and then the midfield position here is a very important one, exactly what Valverde is going to do. There's no Busquets in this game, then you usually play Rakitic in this role, but I would go with Gomez, who's shown that over the the weeks in the season that he can play that role. And what you've also got here with Roberto is a bit of security, somebody who does know the defensive side of the game, who can cover out here, who can drop in here. He's able to do that and give you that defensive cover that I'm sure Valverde wants. I would then play Denis Suarez in Iniesta's position. Valverde was asked about Coutinho, whether he could play this sort of role in maybe weeks and years to come at Barcelona, and Valverde actually said today that he would prefer Coutinho as a forward player, even though he could potentially play in that midfield role. My front three then would be Coutinho from the left, following on from his brilliant display on the weekend against Valencia. Dembele finally, surely, has to get a start in this game, and then I would go with Paco Alcácer up front, replacing Luis Suarez, who in the last few weeks has looked very tired, a bit out of sorts, and desperately in need of some time off the pitch. I would also rest, and it has been reported in the Spanish media as well that it could happen, I would rest Lionel Messi in this game, or at least have him on the bench if we need him, similar to end against Sevilla. I think he desperately needs some time out of the team. We can't be expecting to play him every minute of every game. You know, you look at Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid, the way Zidane has managed him right throughout the season. They played Malaga at home yesterday. He wasn't even anywhere near the squad. We need to do the same sort of thing with Messi so he can be in his best possible condition in the biggest games, and I just don't think we've done that this season. We haven't managed our key players well enough, and in this game I would rest Suarez, I would rest Iniesta. Obviously he's not in the squad. I would rest Messi. Piqué's not there. It is a big game to do it, and it is going to be a very tough game, but we have to do it at some point. For some reason Valverde has left it until this game to do it, and for that reason we're just going to have to suffer the consequences and hope really that this team has got enough quality to get us over the line in a difficult away fixture. So in terms of my score prediction for this one, guys, I'm going to go with exactly the same scoreline that we came here in January. Also on that occasion with a weakened side, I am going to go with Barcelona 1, Celta Vigo 1 at Balaidos tomorrow evening. Please do leave me your score predictions and also your team selection predictions. Who would you play on Tuesday night? Who would you rotate? And who would you bring in to try and get us over the line in this game before that cup final on the weekend? Let me know all your thoughts and your comments down below, guys. I will see you tomorrow for the game, and we're going to be discussing everything, of course, that happens in that. Hopefully we can get a good result and follow on from that Valencia win with a bit more positivity and just trying again to get over that Roma result, doing anything that we possibly can. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.
Barça! Barça!